Have you ever used a computer? Sent a message on your phone? Or even just wondered how your favorite streaming service knows exactly what show you will want to watch next? If you answered yes to any of these, then you have someone truly remarkable to thank: Alan Turing. Today, we're diving into the incredible and ultimately tragic story of the man many call the father of modern computing and artificial intelligence. His genius helped win a war and laid the foundation for the digital world we live in, yet for decades, his full story was shrouded in secrecy. Alan Matheson Turing was born in London in 1912. From a very young age, it was clear he was different. While other children played games, young Alan was fascinated by numbers, puzzles, and the natural world. His mind was constantly questioning how things worked. He reportedly taught himself to read in just 3 weeks and was solving advanced mathematical problems for fun. But this brilliance wasn't always appreciated in the rigid British school system of the time. His teachers often complained that he was neglecting his classical studies in favor of science and math. One headmaster even wrote that if he was to stay at public school, he must aim at becoming educated. If he is to be solely a scientific specialist, he is wasting his time at a public school. Little did they know, this scientific specialist would one day change the course of history. Despite the lack of encouragement, Turing's passion for science only grew stronger. His friendship with a fellow student, Christopher Morcom, was a major turning point. Christopher shared Alan's love for science and mathematics, and for the first time, Turing had found a true intellectual equal. They dreamed of studying together at Cambridge. Tragically, Christopher died suddenly from tuberculosis. The loss was devastating for Turing. It shattered his religious faith and solidified his belief that the human mind, consciousness, and everything that makes us who we are must be rooted in material processes within the brain. This idea would become a cornerstone of his future work on artificial intelligence. Turing went on to study at King's College, Cambridge, where his genius finally found a place to flourish. At just 22 years old, he was elected a fellow at King's for his dissertation on the central limit theorem. But his most groundbreaking work was yet to come. In 1936, he published a paper titled On Computable Numbers. This wasn't just some dry academic text. In this paper, he introduced a concept for a theoretical device that could solve any problem that could be described by a set of instructions or an algorithm. He called it a universal computing machine. Today we know it as the Turing Machine. This abstract, theoretical idea became the fundamental concept behind every single computer, smartphone, and digital device that exists today. He essentially invented the blueprint for the modern computer before the technology to build one even existed. His theoretical work soon found a very practical and very urgent application. As World War II erupted across Europe, Turing was recruited to Bletchley Park, the top-secret British code-breaking center. His mission: to crack the supposedly unbreakable codes used by the German military, most famously, the Enigma code. The Enigma machine was an incredibly complex device used by the German Navy to send encrypted messages. It had millions upon millions of possible settings, and they changed every single day. Cracking it by hand was impossible. Turing, along with a team of brilliant minds, realized that they needed a machine to fight a machine. He designed a massive electromechanical device called the bomb. The bomb wasn't a computer in the modern sense, but it was a specialized code-breaking machine that could rapidly test thousands of possible Enigma settings, looking for logical contradictions. It was an enormous, noisy machine, filled with whirring rotors and clicking relays, but it was a work of genius. Turing's bomb and other innovations at Bletchley Park were instrumental in deciphering German communications. This intelligence, known as Ultra, gave the Allies a massive advantage. Historians estimate that the work done at Bletchley Park shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved millions of lives. For his vital contributions, Turing was awarded the Order of the British Empire. But due to the Official Secrets Act, the true nature of his work remained classified for decades. After the war, Turing's mind didn't slow down. He continued to pioneer the field of computing, working on the design of the Automatic Computing Engine, or ACE, one of the first designs for a stored program computer. He also turned his attention back to one of his lifelong fascinations, the nature of intelligence itself. In 1950, he published another landmark paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. It began with a simple, provocative question: can machines think? To explore this, he proposed an experiment which he called the imitation game, now famously known as the Turing Test. Test involves a human interrogator trying to tell the difference between a human and a machine based on their typed responses. If the interrogator can't reliably tell which is which, the machine is said to have passed the test. This simple idea laid the philosophical and practical groundwork for the entire field of artificial intelligence. But while Turing was busy inventing the future, the society he lived in was stuck in the past. In 1952, Turing's life took a devastating turn. He reported a burglary to the police, and in the course of the investigation he admitted to being in a relationship with another man. At the time, homosexual acts were illegal in Britain. The man who had saved millions of lives was arrested and charged with gross indecency. He was given a horrific choice: go to prison or undergo chemical castration, a series of hormone injections designed to reduce libido. To avoid prison and continue his scientific work, Turing chose the latter. The treatment had severe physical and psychological effects, and he lost his security clearance, barring him from continuing his government code-breaking work. The brilliant mind that had helped win the war was now seen as a security risk by his own country. Just 2 years later, in 1954, Alan Turing was found dead in his home at the age of 41. The official cause of death was cyanide poisoning, ruled a suicide. An apple, half-eaten, was found by his bedside, leading to speculation that he had reenacted a scene from his favorite fairy tale, Snow White. However, some have since questioned the suicide verdict, suggesting it could have been an accidental inhalation of cyanide fumes from a home experiment. We may never know for sure what happened in his final moments. What we do know is that the world lost one of its greatest minds, not just because of a tragic accident or a personal choice, but because of the cruel and intolerant laws of his time. For decades, Turing's full story remained largely unknown. His war work was secret, and his personal life was a source of shame for the establishment. But history has a way of finding the truth. As the digital age dawned, the world began to realize the true scale of his contributions. Slowly, his legacy was rediscovered. In 2009, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown issued an official public apology for the appalling way he was treated. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth II granted him a posthumous royal pardon. And today, his face is on the UK's £50 note, a fitting tribute to the man whose ideas are woven into the fabric of our modern economy and society. Alan Turing's life is a story of incredible brilliance and profound injustice. He was a visionary who saw the future in a way no one else could. He laid the foundations for the digital revolution, helped win a war, and asked the questions that continue to drive the field of artificial intelligence today. His story is a powerful reminder that genius can be found in the most unexpected places, and a tragic lesson in the devastating cost of prejudice. The next time you use your phone or computer, take a moment to remember Alan Turing, the man who imagined our world long before it existed. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of history's most incredible figures. See you in the next one.